Finger is definitely good.
And Leshrac as well.
Leshrac, on the other hand, is always good.
Okay.
We've seen this matchup played a couple of times already in Lesh versus Enchantress. It gives you a lot of AoE. What's also really good about Lesh versus this lineup is that we have a code here.
Yeah.
This is what I studied. Can we get this off? Thank you, sir. I'm here to watch some DOTA.
People at home couldn't see any of that, by the way. It's just special for you guys.
Lesh is good versus PL, versus Ench, versus Wyvern, and at the same time, it's a good block pick versus Slark. I think this is a really, really good pick for IG.
If I'm looking at like the first 4 heroes on both teams, I love IG's draft because they're just going to run at you, right? Beastcoast plays a style. It's not even 4 protect 1, but they always fight as 4. As Hector's off on the map farming, he might come to a fight. But you look at these 4 heroes, you have so many stuns, you have a way to survive, you have Slark who's very agile. Meanwhile, this Enchantress and Winter Wyvern, you're just going to get one-shot by a Lion, a Leshrac. Yeah. Every time you're stunned, you're dead. It's scary if you're on Beastcoast.
Another benefit to picking Leshrac is I think when you have IO, it's really good to have 2 pairings if possible, because there will be stages of this game where Slark maybe wants to farm, and sure, you can ramp him up a little bit with your IO, but it can be really useful if IO can just go to Leshrac and they can get something done. Both of these 2 heroes benefit immensely from the defensive capabilities of the IO here. So usually if you're playing Leshrac in this kind of game, you can be a little bit hesitant with going in, because there's a lot of potential spell burst through the Puck, Wyvern, as well as an Impetus or 2. But you've got an IO backing you up, you can play with a lot more confidence and try to ramp up that tempo, and you take towers.
That's what I was thinking as well. Wisp will be following Leshrac at the early stages of the game, right? You want to create space for Slark, you want to be the playmaker on Lesh. You want to be pushing, but Beastcoast, they have a lot of deep push. They have a lot of these spells that are just casted from distance. You have Puck, you have Wyvern, Splinter Blast, Orb. You just continuously spam them, clear the creep wave, and if Lesh isn't really careful early on, Wisp is a save, but he's not your Abaddon or Omni Knight. He's not that kind of a instant burst heal.
PL for Hector. If I remember at the last tournament, he played it once, he lost the game. And I mean, when you think of Hector, right, it's strength heroes, these heroes of fun. I remember his PL, it's like one of his lower win rate heroes. And I mean, you're going into this lower bracket and picking it for him. So I'm just curious to see how he performs.
Sand King coming out for IG. And yeah, Hector hasn't played PL this entire tournament. Could there be a chance that they have Chris play it instead?
Not with
PL Lesh, right?
Yeah, I think so. Don't know. I think PL can actually probably do fine against Leshrac mid. I'm guessing if that were to be the matchup, Leshrac would go max lightning as well as split earth, and you just spam the PL, and he'll have to buy a lot of regen. So I feel like that's not worth it. The issue is I don't know if PL has any good matchup here. He either goes against the Slark IO lane, or he goes against the Sand King, which can also be tricky. And there will obviously be a lot of threats once the laning stage is over. So for me, Beastcoast kind of need to bridge the gap here between a laning stage and a mid game where, you know, if both PL and Enchantress don't have a good start, what do you have to work with? You're going to need to make sure the lanes go somewhat decently here at least.
The thing is, the last series that we watched from them, the lanes didn't go well. They lost the lanes, but they had some comeback mechanics, right? In this particular game, I'm looking at it and I'm feeling that Phantom Lancer is going to be crushed on the lane. Is this last pick their position 5? Is this... No, it's Wyvern, definitely, because Wyvern plus PL versus Sand King and Lion, that sounds rough.
Yeah, I think we're looking for a mid lane.
Yeah.
So who does well against Leshrac?
There's some merit to Pugna this game, but the hero just hasn't been...
We haven't seen it once, I don't think.
Particularly successful as of late.
It's not as strong as before versus Lesh 2.
Yeah, that's true. So it wouldn't, how is it? It procs, the Netherward only procs on spells that cost 50 or more mana, is it?
I think.
Or how is it? So then Ticks of Pulse Nova won't proc it?
They won't proc them anymore.
Yeah, that changes the matchup a lot then. They're not getting that hero.
It's a Magnus.
All right.
Okay, this is a hero that can...
Is it?
This looks greedy, man. It looks real greedy. You have Mag, PL, Ench.
And I want to see if it might be the off-lane Wyvern if Stinger is playing the Edge. We're waiting to see who they pick here, and it's Stinger Wyvern. Okay.
Stinger or Wyvern.
That's great.
Maybe you start as a tri-lane to secure PL, and then you have Enchantress play a little bit of 1v2 in either of the side lanes, and maybe that's the solution.
But you're going to have Wyvern plus Puck tri-lane. That sounds...
not that bad.
Really?
What do you do? Like,
you deal damage.
Just throw
you just hit them.
You throw your spells. Depending on what kind of lane you face, if you face a tri-lane, you can skill Splinter Blast level 1, Splinter Blast Orb, spam it out.
My problem is Enchantress, long time ago, if you take that Untouchable level 1 and you go to the lane, it's all right for you. You can still be alone. But right now, if Enchantress falls behind 1 level or 2, she's just done.
All right, let's find out how this first game of Beastcoast versus IG will go down, and head over to Capitalist and Kyle.
Prepare for battle. I love winning.
Are you kidding me?
Good morning, Germany, and welcome to DreamLeague Season 13. Welcome to our opening match. It is Beastcoast versus IG. I'm Cap. Joining me is Kyle. Kyle, we heard a panel, greedy. Syndrome was hitting on it hard. What do you think about these drafts?
I'm already a bit concerned that Beastcoast let the Wisp through. IG just finished playing 2 different Chinese teams, both of whom, Aster and Vici, had no intention of letting them get Wisp, let alone Wisp plus Slark. You don't really have an answer to the Slark in the game either. Really good matchups against the Ench and the Mag, but Beast Coast, they've made a name for themselves winning games with strategies that other people don't even dare to try. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them just take over from the laning phase on. But
so in your head, how do you see this strategy from Beast Coast breaking down?
You got to win the lanes.
Well, an early potential kill here. Schofield's going to try and jump away to his orb, but he can't get far. Emo is there to claim the first blood.
And that's a free Null Talisman start for Emo now as they look to contest the runes. It's just tough. As the panel was saying, there's really no good matchups for K1 in the laning phase. Down bottom against a Sand King isn't ideal, although Lion isn't the greatest support to help him out. We'll see. We're starting with 3 heroes top, it appears, on the side of Beast Coast. Maybe just looking for a first blood, and Upsting is going to TP bottom.
It definitely seemed like, I was talking to you during the draft, it felt like both teams were willingly giving away stuff. We had IG banning away the Bloodseeker. That obviously pings the Slurk. They also give away the Wisp to them at the same time. Beast Coast in the second phase, they ban away Earthshaker, which is a clear tell to the Phantom Lancer. IG give it to them anyway. It seems like both teams are willing to let the other play some very strong heroes right now and try and beat them.
Yeah, 2 typical meta carries. I think the Leshrac versus PL hold the bottom lane. Stinger's awesome. Do you think he's just dead?
The double stun is too much for him to handle. The Splinter Blast goes out, hoping that K1 Hector can get the turnaround kill on the Kaka, but before we see that happen, we're going to have a brief pause from IG.
Yeah, we saw yesterday Liquid playing the Leshrac in a couple of games. I think people just moved that hero up in their prioritization, and it's arguably the best hero to go up against PL in the current patch, because you need something that kind of has a strong mid game but also doesn't fall off against a PL with like 4 or 5 items. Leshrac's one of the few. You also just play fast around the map, right? And you shove lanes, which whenever PL has lanes going for him as well, it just seems impossible to kill him, because he'll know if you're off map hunting him and can safely hide in the jungle or send illusions to scout.
There's some similarities between these two drafts in the fact that they both have an intelligence heroes that's really good at being able to shove waves, has a lot of mobility. Leshrac and Puck both able to do that. But for Beastcoast, it is that 4-position Puck while they're running the Magnus mid, who's currently sitting 4-0, really suffering against that Leshrac, who's 10-3 in CS.
So yeah, they did play this against Enigma as well, and the Schofield Puck did go off. I think if you have a nice start, the hero is best suited as a support, because effectively all of your damage is through your spell casting, so you just need levels. Itemization doesn't really help you out too much. Your talents are great as well, of course, but I think if you can get away with it on the 4, that's where it's best suited.
Then you've got a 4 position that can start fights for you. That's always quite nice, especially since they are going to be running an offlaner that's going to be focused on damage with that Enchantress.
And it's like yesterday, we saw the EG Puck a lot of times, even though it was the offline of Ramses, he was pretty much relegated to just farming waves. Like that's the hero at a certain point in the game. So the low and farm priority, you can make him the better. This mid matchup's not going as well as I'd expect for Chris Luck. He's getting bodied pretty hard by Emo, but a big part of that could be the first blood. Leshrac's base damage is low. You give him a free null, and halfway to his next one, thanks to the FB, it changes the dynamics of the relationship.
Chris Luck has been taking lots and lots of damage from Emo. As you can see, Leshrac's not shying away from just attacking him over and over again, threatening those split Earths.
Yep. I like the build, too. We saw some Leshracs going Edict. They just stun Edict. It's not the ideal way to play against a melee hero. You can get Edict later on, but spam Lightning and stun with Mango support is the way to play it.
It also feels like when you're doing well in your lane, you can continue to dominate it by maxing out those 2 spells.
It's very much a snowball laner, especially against a hero like Mag, who's going to outlast hit you if you allow him to play up in the creep wave, so you've got to keep him low. Look at how often IG's couriers get used, by the way. Just then, they were all 5 in transit, just constantly shuffling out regen.
It's the name of the laning phase right now. Constantly spam, regen, tangos and mangoes everywhere. K1 Hector's going to jump forward, actually, going for Kaka after they've used all their stuns. He feels comfortable getting in some return damage. Has to be wary of that Sandstorm now that JT has that level 3. Chris Luck, a bit low. They're both going to pop a healing salve here underneath the tower. Chris Luck giving him a little loop-de-loo here, but it's still high HP Emo. Done really scared. Oh, he gets in front of him for the skewer. That's perfect. He lands the lightning and gets the easy 1v1 kill on the Magnus. Back over to bottom lane. K1 Hector under assault here, but again, once they've used all their spells, he feels comfortable turning around on them with the Phantom Rush.
Yeah, just also to mention, we forgot Lion. You have that mana drain. He already skilled it up at level 2 just to kill off the illusions. It's a mechanic we don't see very often, but it used to be one of the old school counters. So you pick it against Naga. Of course, PL illusion armies do get a little too sizable, but if he inevitably gets to the mana drain multi-target talent at 20, it's quite nice. You just immediately kill the Manta.
Jump to the other side, but Fly is not going to be juked. Lands the pounce, gets the kill. And if anything, they may just keep going on to Leeless because they've got a few stacks in. And Fly really doesn't have to worry about his health. There's 4 stick charges onto Ollie.
Not the greatest start thus far for our Beast Coast boys. And you see Emo, he's got an invis, and now he's looking to just hunt Chris Luck. He knows he's going to be farming jungle in the stacks, but look at that ping right on the invisible Leshrac and then the scan. But this means Emo might just take this stack away from him instead, and he does exactly that.
Farms it up, and that will put IG at a 2K net worth lead by 5 minutes.
Off to a very good start. Beast Coast typically relies on just aggression in the laning phase to find their ways to dominant mid games, but so far they're getting outmatched in effectively every lane. But I don't blame them. They don't have the stronger lanes here.
Just keep on going for it underneath the Sandstorm. K1 Hector takes a lot of damage. Kaka knows they've developed a routine by now. He knows K1 Hector is going to run at him as soon as they blow both their stuns, so he preemptively backs up. Still, maybe he didn't get far enough away. He's going to throw out another round of stuns. Splinter Blast will land into the line. Not enough to get the kill. K1 Hector is going to turn and fight JT here. Even though he's low health, he reads that the JT just doesn't have a whole lot of damage left when he doesn't have the Burrow Strike. He's going to try and bait him in, but there is going to be the one charges enough to be able to get another round of Burrow Strikes. Now they're going to body block up Stinger as well. Look at that. JT staying in front of him nonstop to be able to get the double at bottom lane. And a kill onto middle. IG, they're dominating.
He's got kills in 3 lanes at once and just straight up outplayed bottom. You know, Hector, one of the most aggressive players in Dota 2, but you just got, I don't even know what to say. JT, he held a stick, he had a stun, he kills him, the body block to finish. We didn't even have time to check out the other kills, but that's the second time Emo has taken out Chris Luck. Schofield 0 and 3.
Well, they do get their second kill for Beastcoast as pickoff on Kaka allows them. But you said early on Beastcoast needs to be able to win the laning phase, and instead they're losing all 3 lanes here. What can they do to switch this up? We need some seed rotations. Okay, they're going to be able to hit the RP skewer back. Is that Leela's TP going to be complete in time? He's going to be able to get at least 1 shot in to finish off Emo. That's a kill streak going the way of Beastcoast.
Hey, that helps. IG, a little charity there. Kaka hung out bottom at like 30% HP. He gives himself away, and then Emo just sort of allows the RP to land. Even a long TP from Lelis is enough to secure the kill, because if you're already approaching Mag's high ground, you get RP, to skewer back in a tower is simple. And yeah, just that's a freebie. And it's always very dangerous to give away kills like that to heroes that you're dominating, because they just get more gold and XP than you would if you were to get a return when you come back. Still a 1K net worth advantage for Emo in the mid lane.
Kaka being chased down. JT's going to go for the Burrow Strike. Only hits the illusion here because it could pop the epicenter and chase down Stinger. There's going to be enough damage, though. With the Cold Embrace, Stinger will be able to heal up some under the effects of the Sandstorm, though. It's not too much. Another Burrow Strike, and it looks like he will fall. Trading supports, though, and a big ultimate being used. It's not the worst thing in the world for Beastcoast.
And JT right now has a Blink Dagger just straight up queued up. He's got Soul Ring, Boots, Bracer. Don't mind that choice. You're playing with the Wisp. You've got a Leshrac. If you land a stun, you're going to effectively find kills wherever you are. And it's so easy for Relocate to come in and be effective.
Especially with this build, he's not going to max out Sandstorm builds. I would say, like, if you max out Sandstorm, you pick up Veil, and that'll just kill the lane for a Phantom Lancer. But here, he wants to actively fight and find kills all around the map.
Yeah, I like the movement from Beastcoast, though. This was necessary. They just put Schofield mid. He's only level 4, having a terrible game. You got to get him levels, and Leshrac, you're not going to pressure a puck, even though you're more than double his XP. Chris Luck, he can just farm jungle. He's a Magnus. That's what he wants to be doing anyway, and you need your puck to get into this game. He's got to have Coil up and running ASAP.
Both sides do kind of have that, though. Sand King and Leshrac pretty efficient at both being able to shove the lane in and farm jungle. You could see Emo's going to show up bottom lane. He knows the Phantom Lancer is no contest for him, so they're going to try and pressure this tower. Stinger tries to do what he can to pull the creep wave off the tower, but instead gets caught by the initiation from Kaka.
Really cool build from Emo. I have not seen a phase boots Lesh. And he also went for a 2-3-3 build. I do think this is, Leshrac, you want to have points in every ability by the time you hit 10 for sure, but I like this style because it allows him to push towers. We just saw that. 3-point edict, and boom, it's dead. The phase are weird because typically you see the bots built later on, like second or third item for Leshrac, but this is going to allow him to just play with a lot of pace. Much tankier as well against the Mag PL.
Yeah, that armor upgrade will be nice for him, but we'll see. That just also means that IG needs to be able to play a cleaner game than giving those pickoffs they did earlier, right? Because they're building towards an early game. They can't afford to lose that.
Yeah, and he also, well, he took the armor talent too. I don't know if it doesn't necessarily hamper his scaling potential. It just makes him deceptively strong when you consider he's got, what is that, 21 armor with that broom handle picked up and 1200 HP.
He's going to give the broom handle over to Fly. Makes sense.
And I like it. Just rotate straight towards top, right? You're a Leshrac, try and get these towers going while Beastcoast are on the back foot.
Yeah, they don't even have level 6 on some of these heroes. Schofield still a bit shy in experience. Oh, he grabs it now as creep dies. JT continues to play that bottom lane as he needs to be able to finish up his Blink Dagger.
Still 3 IG heroes on the top of the network, 3K ahead. Nothing out of the ordinary when you consider how well their lanes have gone. Lion getting his level 6 middle. I expect Kaka to make a move at some point once he picks that up. Schofield 6 as well. Still no boots. Having a rough time of it. And I question whether they're actually going to be able to take out this Fly Slark, because in truth, you don't have any lockdown whatsoever that wouldn't be dispelled by Dark Pact. So you're going to have to catch him napping, and that's tough when nobody's anywhere near a Blink Dagger.
Did I see that right? Was Kaka holding on to the tome? He hasn't popped it yet. So I think he might just pick up a level 6 here.
Yeah, he's
just going to pass off the tome to somebody else who needs it since he got his ultimate already?
Possibly. It is weird to just be holding on to it.
Yeah.
I would have used it personally.
Yeah. Well, Kaka's a homie. What can you say?
A Blink Dagger up on the Sand King. Lion has fingers. A hell of a timing. Anyone they find is dead, and I imagine their ideal target is the one farming Ancients, K1. They're actually going to avoid Stinger and hunt this PL. Look at that, the long loop. They know where he is.
Yep. But Stinger's still kind of being a nuisance. He's still in the way, and it's going to break. So finally, they're going to be forced to go on to Stinger here. Try and get this kill. He does have the Winner's Curse. That's why they have to throw out the Hex.
I like that, too. A lot of players would have just taken the finger kill for the plus damage, but the cooldown is way too long, 160 seconds. Save it. You're still now a threat. That Blink Dagger is ready to go, and PL's still dead if you find him alone.
Lucian's going to spot the two of them setting up on the mid lane, so they're not going to be able to catch anybody, but still, just being there, the presence is allowing the Leshrac to put some pressure on that mid tower. Now they're going to try and jump on a Schofield, chain stun him, finger of death, cuts him down, but Chris Luck is going to return fire here. Skewer, and trying to catch out the Kaka, K1 Hector. Okay, they're just going to go for it. RP goes out. They get that one solo hero pickoff. This is Winner's Curse being used as well. They're going to try and set up on this Leshrac, but as you were talking about earlier, Emo's very taking out the epicenter in from behind. Is going to be able to wipe out Stinger. They're going to chase down Lelis as well. This is perfect for a Leshrac. Doesn't need to really right click an Enchantress. The magic damage will do its work.
This is just such a great game for Lesh. You kill everything on the side of Beastcoast, one of the better heroes in Dota against Ench and PL specifically, and he dominated the Maggot lane. So Chris Luck's game is currently in shambles, and just another good move by IG. We saw this from Vici yesterday, this idea of playing in multiple places at once. So this rotate into the enemy jungle, as you said, secures the push mid for Leshrac, and if PL is seen in vision, he just dies, while at the same time Slark's pushing top and pressuring with that new Diffusal Blade. So you're getting things done everywhere. There's no real optimal play for Beast Coast. They're forced to use an RP just to collect a Lion kill with no finger. He doesn't mind that on Kaka. 4K lead.
This is turning into a bit of a standard Beast Coast strategy here. In sort of a losing game, they are just creating space for Hector to farm, hoping that he will get strong enough to carry them through the game. And he might be able to, but not against a Leshrac that's ahead of him in net worth.
Yeah, they're going to need some more time. He's going the farming build Yasha straight into Diffusal. Once he gets that up, you can maybe expect to see them make some plays. But Slark already with his Diffusal, going to grab the top haste rune. Nope, saving it to the Lesh. And there's a Yule's up on Emo now, so he is pretty much ready to go. 19 armor, a bunch of stats, and a Wisp behind him with a mech complete already on Ollie. That is so fast. The team fight is unbelievable.
Caught him again, Stinger. He's going to be the victim of initiation here, but he may not go down as they are going to be able to get the catch. Okay, never mind. The Leshrac shows up. Winner's Curse to be able to stall him out. They're going to try and go for this line. Well, it's still underneath the cooldown. He snaps it too, so he instantly dies. Now, K1 Hector, he needs to be able to Phantom Rush out of here away from the Leshrac onto JT, but now he's kind of stuck in a situation where he has to go for the Sand King kill and will eventually die to Emo instead. Fly, a little bit scared of Chris Luck and all his physical damage, but the chain stun on his Schofield gets that kill. Chris Luck trying to get an RP onto somebody will manage to get JT a 2-for-3 exchange to the favor of IG, but it's not done just yet. Lelis forces Fly back out of the Radiant jungle.
Yeah, the problem is you traded supports there. The bonus kill IG picked up was on the critical hero for Beast Coast and the K1 PL. Clumsy net for the Slark, Vampire Fangs for Mag. Nothing too huge, but just another nice move. It could have been a lot worse for Beastcoast. They were forced to use the RP, but you'll take those. And also, yeah, JT's a core. I just always get used to thinking of Sand as a support hero who actually went for the bots himself. So the Leshrac skips them, the Sand King picks them up.
That kind of makes sense. It's kind of covering their weaknesses, right? If the Leshrac isn't going to have that mobility, somebody else needs to.
It's also the way they're going to play. It's this 2-3 setup where Lesh and Slark are sort of playing independently. The rest of the team plays around them.
At the center, this is a big problem for the Enchantress pickup. They got so many heroes that are able to do just general AoE or single target magic damage, like the Leshrac, Sand King.
Look at the way they're playing, right? Look at IG. They're just slowly choking out the Beastcoast map. They've got 3 different lanes all being pressed in. Bottom, they're even going to kill that tier 2 tower. Emo just popping a casual edict, and down it goes.
Chris Luck knows he's tanky enough that he could survive through at least the Leshrac, but the follow-up from the Slark is what concerns him. Still able to farm. He's going to try and get a Blink Dagger so you can kind of change the trajectory of these team fights. It's been very one-sided. Pretty much IG just kind of running at Beastcoast, and Beastcoast managing to find small kills in return, but mostly losing fights. If you can get a good, big RP, that could change a lot, especially with the help of like Puck and the Winter Wyvern, all that AoE damage.
Yeah, the problem with the draft is that so far their 3 cores have done nothing but hit creeps. No one's really able to make plays yet. They need the Blink. They need somebody able to get something going. Schofield not having his traditional start. 0-5-1 on the Puck.
Well, it's a significant damage upgrade when the Phantom Lancer picks up the Diffuser Blade, because now his illusions can be really effective in team fights, just kind of running down supports. But he still has a tankiness problem to deal with. That Leshrac just shreds him.
And the Sand King, the Lion. You have so many stuns up against.
This is a good kill they can get. He's already popped the Dark Pack, so they're just going to lead off with the RP. Chain stun him with the silence and such, and Chris Luck will get the kill.
Yeah, he was lulled into a false sense of security there because he had the ward on the high ground near that tier 1. But as you said, they're smoked. He doesn't see him. Immediately gets killed.
That'll open up the Dire Jungle to farm for K1 Hector and this tier 1 tower to take. But IG, they're actually not going to just trade this out and go and like pressure mid or something. Instead, they're going to smoke up, rotate their way through. 15 seconds till the Slark is up, so he may be able to join the tail end of the engagement as well.
Look at that hesitation. They're taking their time. Slark will be up as this fight begins.
They're going to pop the courier now. IG, they have kind of spoiled this, but they are going to be able to find the opening clock onto Stinger. Kaka does manage to get the hanks onto a very tanky Chris Luck, but K1 Hector quickly takes out the line. Now they manage to get the coils. In the pole, Chris Luck with a beautiful push forward, but it may not be quite enough as the infinite shots rain in on the Emo. They need a little bit more control. Yule Scepter buys them some time as Flyfly shows up with the epicenter as well, and now the Wisp is here. Emo, fully healed up, is going to be able to turn and chase down this Puck. Schofield, no orb for 4 seconds. He's just dead. An ultra kill for Emo as it looked good for just a glimmer of a moment. Beastcoast thought they could win the engagement, but it turns resoundingly against them. The lead for IG was just too big.
That was so sick. It was such a great execution. We saw another incredible skewer the other day with Monkey King being thrown all the way back into tower, but just no way here. Nice hex from Kaka. Doesn't panic once it gets initiated on it. Sure, you're going to be able to kill this Lion. Good coil, the silence, but it's just not enough. Like, the skewer looks good, but Lesh isn't coiled, so he's just going to continue casting spells. JT hits a huge stun. Emo follows up immediately, and he's just so tanky. The Dragon Scale, the Yules, like, you're not taking out this Leshrac, and Ali buys back just to make sure his Lesh stays alive. That ensures that they'll then take the Aegis. Now you've got a double life on the Lesh, along with that Sanj Kaya. Dude, this is such a cool Lesh build. I really like this. You get the status resist.
He is mega tanky. A little bit different from... Oh, they're going to be able to find the Phantom Lancer with the Blink Dagger from Kaka. A Finger of Death to seal the deal. It is going to put that very long cooldown because unfortunately he was just shy of level 12, but still building up those finger stacks. An Aghanim Scepter almost up for the Slark, so that map is going to get darker and darker for Beastcoast. And they're going to have to group up more and more.
And they're just in a tough spot because their team fight is somewhat non-effective. You've got a hard initiation, but you're playing against a Wisp and a Slark that, if he gets his Q off, is just going to 100% survive.
Relocate in on Leeless. Stinger is setting up for the winner's curse. Now, unfortunately, the Leshrac doesn't actually do that much physical damage, so Ollie will easily survive. And that now means an ultimate is on cooldown, and IG feels comfortable going for the tier 1 tower.
And there's really nothing you can do to stop them here. Leshrac with Aegis, he's going to pop Edict. That tower's going to melt. Went for the strength talent at level 15 as well, so he's approaching 2,000 HP. And again, a Wisp behind him. The regen amp from the Sanj Kai as well. It's just, they're just so tanky. And Beastcoast, you don't really have that innate survivability. Your only combo breaker is that Wyvern ult to, you know, you can harass the Wisp for a bit, but no one's really going to be able to. You need like a 4-man, straight up. They need some kind of 4-man combination. Beastcoast camping a high ground. But if you notice, IG have never really been in a position where 5 of them are even in the same place. It's always these kill squads, 2 and 2, roaming the map. You've got 3 mid now as Lion and Sand King hunt enemy jungle.
I mean, even just last team fight, right? It was Emo and Ollie playing bottom lane for the 20-minute bounties and outposts. Beastcoast were up top, so they were able to just relocate up there, take a little small fight, secure bounties as well as outposts for themselves, and just build their lead more and more.
And you can play, oh, hang on.
Emo, missing the sun on a Schofield. He managed to dodge it with the phase shift. Nothing major. Emo, I'm sure, wasn't expecting a kill out of that.
And the IG are just playing with so much luxury, because not only do they have like all this wave clear, but because Sand King has bots and Slark is a Slark, they can just continue to play apart from the team. So everyone's farming, but if Beastcoast look to get frisky, then in 5 seconds they're all there as 5 ready to fight.
Rumble on the stage fades as the Diabolic Edict ends. That tier 2 tower will stay up for now. They have the Manta, but the heart is what's really needed. Kaka, he's going to go for it, and they're going to relocate onto him as well. K1 Hector's going to have 0 opportunity to get off that doppelganger. They chained their stuns. They overlapped both the Burrow Strike and the impale from the line, just to make sure that K1 Hector had no chance of getting off the instant doppelganger.
And you can see like the fear, right? Even though the relocate, they saw where it was, and just a Wisp comes back, but you can't actually go for it, because if you do, you're going to expose yourself. There's a Slark in the area. You know that Sand King Lash could just TP in. You know, all of a sudden you have 4 heroes top, but they're still threatening everyone on the map, just the nature of the draft. Flyfly's got a BKB queued up. And they're just so tanky, over 2,000 HP on every single core of the side of IG. And PL, he typically thrives in longer, drawn-out engagements, but they have so much illusion clear, he's nowhere near a heart. So it's not as if he'll have that staying power we take for granted at times in PL games.
Yeah, a lot of these pushes, the Phantom Lancer would defend by throwing his illusions. Oh, Leeless is going to be jumped on here. Makes himself a target. With the silence onto Leshrac, the kill's going to be a bit delayed here. They're still going to go for it with the coil and brace. They may have actually run out of damage here. He's Aegis, the skewer back. Oh, with the coil snap. That's going to be on 2 of them underneath the tier 2 tower. They still have the Aegis onto Leshrac here, and he's completely out of mana. It's almost better if he stays alive, because K1 Hector can feast on the opposing heroes. They're going to be able to get the Lion in the back line, try and chase down some more here. RP almost got that Slark. If he had just blinked a little bit farther to the left, he would have blocked that pounce. Now they're still trying to finish off Emo's Aegis here.
Well, if he waits 4 more seconds, he'll actually despawn.
Oh, that would be sick if you could somehow catch him with a jump forward, but Leshrac almost, now he pops it. Does manage to stop the regen, but he's not low enough for them to be able to get this kill. Schofield pops 1, jumps away to his orb. If he gets lightning tier anything, he will die, but a waiting rift away. Smooth moves by Schofield.
Yeah, the crowd gives him some props for that one. Living life on the edge. Respect for Schofield. And Beastcoast, this is the way they play, right?
Yeah. I mean, when you're down like this, you got to take some risks, and if you're going to take those risks, you might as well play with a little bit of ego. You might as well play like you're better than the enemy. That's what Beastcoast does best. Chris Logging's choking it. That's 2 pounces whipped by Flyfly. They're going to be able to get the initiation on Single, but he gets Winter's Curse first. Can he get out? No. Finger of Death makes sure he will not escape.
Hey, but they brought it back a bit. I mean, I was wondering how the hell Beastcoast can find openings in this game to make moves, but that appears to be the way. Just coil into a 2-man skewer out, right?
Yeah.
Especially if one of those heroes caught as the Wisp.
But here's the bad part. When they're grouped up, they have a chance to be able to win fights, but naturally they have to split up a little bit to get some farm, and that's where the pickoff opportunities present themselves for IG.
Double bounty rune getting snagged up top by IG. Well, we're going to have an Octarine core on Emo and just 1,000 gold. He'll farm that up real fast. Top of the net worth, 13-1 so far. But I will say, Beastcoast, they're certainly not out of this. You consider that they're doubled up in kills right now, but only 6k gold down.
I will say, though, that our Leshrac did not die in that entire, skewer coil play. The only reason that was good for Beastcoast was because Emo was out of mana.
Yeah.
He was in the middle of everybody, but had no offense. So in the end, he was able to survive through everything.
Yep.
But that fight would have looked terrible if they had actually killed that Leshrac. He comes back with full health, full mana, and that could have been Beastcoast getting wiped.
Yeah, long fights are still going to be the way for Beastcoast. It's definitely tough, but that's your answer. How do I deal with Leshrac? Well, once he runs out of mana, he's effectively just a really fast-moving horse with no threat. If you can kill off the Sand King, specifically the Lion, too early on, because Kaka is by far the squishiest on the side of IG, just over 1,000 health. Does have a glimmer and a blink, of course. And a repair kit, we talked about it in the pregame. It's a great item. It could be broken, but for a team in IG's position, it is completely worthless.
Yep. At best, you can throw the repair kit on the IO, and he could get the regen from it. I think it's pretty high amount of regen, something like 25, but ultimately not that useful.
Should be able to use it offensively as well. Like a disrepair.
Oh, okay. Wait, are you saying seriously, or are you saying it? I was going to think of the way to taunt the enemy. You repair kit their tier 3 while you're taking their base.
No, it should disable its ability to attack or something.
Oh, okay.
Or be removed from the game. And they actually left it on the ground. I love that.
It's only 13 HP regeneration. Apparently I'm crazy.
Still, Kaylee, the issue with Beastcoast right now is that IG are just farming more, right? We were talking about the lead was small, but then you blink and it feels like IG just have 1,000 GPM advantage per minute just because, they're farming faster around the map. They move faster, and they don't have to hold hands as much because they have all that global mobility. Meanwhile, look at Beastcoast. They're forced to conglomerate as 4 or 5 heroes on high grounds because if anybody gets jumped alone, they're just dead immediately.
At the same time, IG hasn't broken them yet, which is a little bit surprising. They still are able to play outside of their base. They're still able to farm up. They still have tier 2s up. It feels like this game could actually draw out to a point where this Phantom Lancer does get his heart, and then who knows what happens from there. How close is he? Oh yeah, he's already got it. Jeez, K1 Hector, 28-minute heart. Manta Diffusal in a losing game like this. Respect.
And under the circumstances, it is not bad at all. And let's see, Slark's got a BKB complete, looking for his Basher next. Nothing big coming out for them anytime soon, although the Leshrac did, of course, just get an Octarine as well. Just more heal. Again, the self-heal from the magical damage dealt will also be buffed up by his Sanjin Kaya.
Oh, yeah.
And now a casual plate mail to boot. So he is incredibly tanky. Really, you're not killing him. Just get him out of mana. That's the way to stop Emo right now. And he just got the Pulse Nova talent, too, so his ultimate's doing 230 area damage per second.
They had the scan on Schofield, so they knew someone was around here. Probably didn't expect it to be a puck on the high ground, though.
What Spider likes to, you're not catching this guy.
500 skewer range. Oh, Coil just to be able to stop the TPs here. Schofield just kind of being a nuisance, but he is going to be caught by the Ule Scepter. He still has the Wave Rift, but there's going to be the Impale on top of the Ule Scepter, and another Finger Death Charge for Kaka.
Really nice job by Kaka. There's a few heroes in Dota that have what I'll call frame canceling stuns. So typically Puck coming down from the Yules would get phase shift off, but if you're playing against the Nyx, a Lion, these line stuns, you just come down into them and you're dead. Leshrac can't do the same, but his Lion certainly can. 7k the gold lead, but how many towers behind? Really, it's only a 2-tower difference for these teams. You'd think IG would have claimed mid and top by now, but they're going to go for Roche first. This second Aegis will probably be their window to clearing out those outside objectives.
IG. They've been chilling for a little while, but they aren't going to go for this Roshan here. And Beastcoast can definitely get there in time. It's a very slow Roshan for IG. Plenty of opportunities for Beastcoast to be able to interfere here, but they're going to be leading off onto Schofield. Force down, trying to save him. Cold Embrace is also there. Winner's Curse to be able to lock into Leshrac, actually grabbing JT as well. K1 Hector's trying to find a way into this fight, but can't go into all that AoE damage, at least on the top side. Oh, that was unfortunate. And JT burst striking through. Chris Luck still trying to pursue, but they do manage to get that relocate over to the side, so they're just going to try and deal with Chris Luck as soon as this BKB wears out. Emo will try and deal with him while Fly in the middle of everybody, quite low, trying to go for that kill on the Schofield phase shift. Now he's going to be silenced up. The Dark Pack goes off. A long bounce away, but the shot is going to do so much. Almost kills him. Over to the top lane, back over to Chris Luck, whereas BKB has worn out, and as tanky as he is, he can't put up with the sustained damage from Emo.
Boy, Chris Luck, man, he got caught with the typical initiator's issue where he's got his camera up in the fight, doesn't recognize that he had wandered just into the outside of the sandstorm. It cancels his blink, and he RPs the ground.
They needed that RP for their coil skewer combination too. And now, even if it was slow, IG will manage to take this Roshan.
You can watch here. I trying to set up for maybe another skewer coil. And he'd already RP gun. And then he just chases JT who has Spider like so much mobility. You find the kill, sure, but cost of your own life. And now Lelis, he's next.
Fly, he's going to try and find the extra kill on a Stinger here. And he should be able to get it too. So many stacks being built up off the Cold Embrace. Slark sometimes love. So Winter Wyvern on the enemy side. Now he's going to turn those stats onto the puck. And Beastcoast not bothering to buy back because the lanes still need to be dealt with. And K1 Hector is going to be able to grab Kaka here. One buyback, two buybacks now. They think they can actually catch some additional heroes here with a coil onto Fly. But there's no Aghanim's coil. There is the Winter's Curse to be able to control him during this BKB. He does have the Shadow Dance, immediately goes for it and TP's out. He's fine.
Really nice heads up, no panic from Fly. Every Slack player knows how to use their tools to survive, and as you said, you really want that Ags up on Puck as soon as possible, but even against Slark, unfortunately, the Pact still would remove it, so your real issue as this game continues isn't really going to be Emo's Lash. It's that Fly doesn't really fear any of your disables. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, he's going to survive. I think it's Hector, you can see picking up a Shadow Blade, because for Beastcoast to win this game, it'll be an initiation. It's not going to be just a straight up 5-on-5 walk at each other. They're the ones that need to get the jump, kill off one of these cores at the start, and then rely upon their Wyvern and Mag to win the team fight following, because a 5-on-4 could still be close, especially considering how willing IG's been to commit buybacks for team fights, and they now got two nice wards up on the enemy side of the map as well, with Aegis in tow.
Daedalus almost up for Chris Luck. That's a significant increase in damage. With that Shadow Blade, I mean, IG relies on their supports a lot, right? The IO and Lion are so easy to kill. K1 Hector could have a serious impact in these fights if you can catch him.
And Sand King will at some point fall off. JT played. Falls. He's playing a reload coming out. That's going to be.
They're going to relocate into the Lion. That's Winter's Curse, so he's going to be dying at the with all that AoE damage, the snap of bullet as well. JT intercept with the Burrow Strike, but it's not enough to save Emo's first life. Fly into the back lines, going for Stinger. The BKB activated. Standing against the Phantom Lancer illusions is hard. They want to be able to deal with Emo though. Emo here comes the outfit from JT. He jumps down the cliff onto the Magnus, but still it's Emo who needs to be able to survive against K1 Hector, and all of Beastcoast are there. The Stinger tried to stay him, skewer him away, does manage to bring him down. Now they're going to be able to get another shockwave, pulling back Ollie. Tether out onto JT, but K1 Hector, he's not going to let up. He's going to be able to chase with a Phantom Rush, bringing down the IO as well. Three dead on the side of IG, and Beastcoast strike back.
What the hell of a fight? What was IG thinking there? Looked like Stan was just hiding in the trees. He gets a sick ultimate off on top of where the relocate's coming in. It's the simplest coil skewer out I've ever seen. What a fight. It's just, it was actually pre-planned and they didn't cancel the reload, and it's just like, oh hey, we got 3 heroes here. This is the dream. RP, coil screw out. There's like 7 seconds of stun. And there was a buyback from the Wisp, sure, but he has no relocate anymore, and he can't enter this fight. That was an Aegis kill. He's on mid.
They're going to be able to just run down mid. They're going to be take that tier 2. 30 seconds still left for the IO as well. They might just be able to get maybe the tier 3, maybe even a full lane of Paris before IG feels comfortable defending.
We've seen PL go late game against Slark. It almost always goes PL's way, especially with an Empower. He's doing so much physical damage. Slark's still mostly just a nuisance. He's bottom, hitting that tier 3, but he's going to lose a Rax in the meantime.
Yeah, he's doing it so much slower than an empowered up Phantom Lancer and a Magnus who's hitting rather hard too. They're going to TP back Lelis to make sure they don't lose their tier 3 at least.
Oh, they're going to find Wyvern, it appears. Stinger does have ultimate, but might not want to use it here.
Yeah, perhaps better just to save it.
I mean, this is now all of a sudden Beastcoast's game. Like, look at the amount of damage they're dishing out. That Daedalus on Magnus, man. He's a real right clicker, and PL's just taken sole claim to top net worth. Silver Edge picked up as well. Like, this is looking great all of a sudden.
It really is. IG, they played it very slowly, maybe feeling confident that they would always be able to deal with this Phantom Lancer, but now you begin to look back in hindsight and wonder if they should have just put a little bit more gas on the pedal.
Yeah, I mean, they're still the ones with the net worth lead, but as Seb is so fond of saying, that graph up top doesn't really mean much. It's about your status in the game. And right now, you gotta feel like Beast Coast has the momentum and the advantage, so long as they continue to execute. And it's just about the raw physical damage, right? PL Mag, these heroes go late game, no problem. IG really just running more semi-carries. Sand King going for the utility build, not really offering much more to fights than he did around 15 minutes. Slark versus PL. Slark's got all these defensive items, but there's no damage coming out just yet. And PL, he'll have his Basher up in a sec.
Kaka has easily had the hardest game on the side of IG. Pretty much every fight, Hector goes and takes him out first. That's why he's built so many defensive items, but I love the fact that he's finally going for that Aghanim Scepter. A support that actually had some AoE clear against a Phantom Lancer.
Yep. And again, you got to question whether or not they should have been hitting this timing for 5-10 minutes ago, because he could have easily gotten rid of that Force Staff and just had an Ags for that engagement.
Sure.
Also, just, IG, let's call it for what it is. You're diving a tier 2 with your Lion and then relocating on top of him before your other heroes are in position. That's just not often going to work out, because the one thing when we say you have to fear from Beast Coast, it's their AoE. The AoE control, the coil, the Wyvern ult, the RP. Play around that if you're IG. You should be able to take fights, but Hector's a real problem now, and he's approaching that level 25 where PLs start to get near impossible to kill.
IG, they can't afford to half-ass any more fights. They've got to be there in force, plan the engagement a little bit better, and be sure not to clump up too much. You're going to start limiting the wards that were put out by Beast Coast when they finally got outside of the base and onto the other side of the river by purchasing a gem.
Yeah, and it looks like finally Emo's going to be picking up his BKB, will be his overall last item. He got effectively everything a Leshrac could want, with the exception of that magic immunity, and it might have hurt him there, because if he has Aegis respawn in that previous engagement plus a BKB, he's going to just be able to fight or TP home. And instead just got pursued.
Yeah. There's still something to be said about IG and like the ease at which they can start fights. We've got a Scythe of Vice on a Sand King. Like, they've got so many options when it comes to either picking off heroes or initiating and starting a team fight.
They've had those all game. You've got so many stuns. You've got a Lion, you've got a Sand King you've been finding success with killing, but I question whether the Scythe is going to be truly effective here. Mjolnir up on Slark, but I mean, we'll see. We got 5K on Chrislock. If he can finish his AC by the time this next fight starts, that's a huge edge for them. And even further damage, Hector will be able to dish out.
What would you like to have seen instead with the Scythe? Is there anything that really stands out?
I honestly, I'm really not sure. Like, maybe your Ags upgrade used to have caustic to illusions. It doesn't anymore. They go for this?
They're certainly going to try, but a BKB and an Aghanim's Pounce is going to get Fly very far distance away. Schofield still thinks he can grab it here with the Dark Pack going off. He's going to remove the silence and be able to get off the Shatter Dance to relocate out. Is IG going to leave Ollie behind here? Looks like it is. All of IG is being chased away from this jungle area. They're going to surround where the Wisp is going to come back to.
And Lelis also reminding his team, wait guys, kill the shrine. We've got that in mid-racks. While we're in the area, let's take this now.
Hey, we've got level 25 on the Magnus, so we now have the upgraded in power, which is great for him, as well as the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, to be honest, because it's double the effect on the mag, of course, so it's now 80% increased damage. We saw how impactful 80% increases in things could be effective yesterday when a Morphling picked up an Apex.
So now he's found a double damage. That's 100% increase and 100% dead. Schofield Puck grabs a courier as well. Fly trying to catch some more heroes around this Roshan pit. This is dangerous for Beastcoast. Emo goes for the stun onto Chris Luck. Chris Luck pops BKB, turns and finds Skewer over. He's going to try and lock down Combine. He grabbed him. He hits him with the RP and hits him with a big crit. No buyback there. Emo, he's going to have to fight his way through this one. His Conker's going to be identified just like always. K1 Hector, good old times. He goes for the support. Now going to start ripping into Emo, who's slow, running low on mana. Ollie's going to come in, trying to help him out, heals him up a little bit. They skewer together. Shivas goes out, and a skewer. Okay, that's going to be a dead Chris Luck as Beastcoast immediately retreat off of the buybacks. Stinger, he's going to be caught. A gem on the ground, revealing Stinger there, as well as a sentry.
Yeah, BKB on Chris Luck. Forced out right at the start of the fight. He tries to get aggressive afterwards. That's just not going to work out for you. The magic damage and stun potential.
Hey, where are we relocating? We're going back to the base.
Okay. Just getting some mana up for the Leshrac. We saw that before the Wisp got there, he was completely and I wouldn't have been able to continue to apply pressure if you stop him from casting Nova. That's 230 AoE per second that just disappears, and then the Illusion Army really starts to add up.
There's so many things that IG needs to do right now. They got to push out the mid lane, so they can't take Roshan just yet.
Bottom lane, JT.
JT's going to lead off with the stun. There's no relocate.
There's no team.
JT, there's no relocate. Just get out. Goodness. Now they're going to go back to trying to take that Roshan, but Beastcoast might be able to get there in time, especially considering how slow it is for IG. Is Leshrac level 25 yet? Does he have the Diabolic Edict talent? He does. That'll help, certainly. But as you can see, it is going at a bit of a snail's pace.
Yeah, I mean, there's no Slark. They really need that Aegis up on him. Well, at this point, I think you just have to give it to your Lesh because he's the one that's actually farmed here. And who's getting caught?
Leeless gonna be caught. So much magic damage. The Winter's Curse attempted, but a Sight device to be able to intercept instead. And now Stinger is probably gonna be falling here. The sounds up on Emo means he can't immediately get the stun. The Winter's Curse goes off, but too much AoE damage. That's gonna be 2 dead on the side of Beastcoast. They get picked as they try to approach that Roshan pit without their cores. And that will certainly mean a free Aegis and cheese for IG.
It's kind of crazy to me how ineffective the Slark's been in this game. Only 10 out of the 40 kills for IG have been assisted by Fly.
Oh, and an Aghanim Scepter. So they don't have to worry about building that for Kaka. He can focus on building an Aeon disc.
How much damage? 125.
Hey, relocate coming over JT. This time around, it's a good time to pick off the Phantom Lancer. Sight device leading things on. Flyboy's going to be joining them as well. But a beautiful RP. Immediately the Amethyst goes off, but JT doesn't have Pro Strike to stop it. So they are going to be able to skewer away this AoE damage. This empowered Chris Luck Magnus makes short work of IG. No fly. Can Emo do it? Can he somehow get out? They're going to be able to get the disable on Schofield, but immediately K1 Hector going for Kaka. Half health on K1 Hector. He's got to be a little bit careful here. It's Rachel the Pro Strike to save us. So much magic damage. Call the brace, be able to buy him a little bit more time. Can he get out? Epicenter, so much damage. And K1 Hector, he falls. 100 seconds left for him. He does have a buyback. But once again, Beastcoast managed to cobble together a bit of a team fight and won't lose it entirely. With Fly down, IG, they're going to have to choose whether or not they go high ground very carefully here.
It felt like that was like all the Ags online, man. It took a fourth of Hector's HP right off the bat. Illusion's immediately dead. You know which one's the real one. They've got so much damage.
Yeah, plus 400 damage.
Okay, yeah, no wonder. It was like a 1,500 damage finger. Hell of an RP. Then again, the skewer out of the coil. It somehow caught, I didn't even see him, but Slark's actually inside there. You see this massive damage, just 2-shot by the Echo Saber. But Chris Luck, when he has no BKB, even though they get that kill, it's all Hector now because he can't recommit.
Fly had his Shadow Dance up. And he wasn't in the coil. He didn't get snapped. He was just kind of caught in that area and just took so much cleave damage and stuff. It surprised him, I think. How quickly he died. A repair kit holding the line here as Leeless lays impetus after impetus onto Emo, forcing them back. IG will not be able to go high ground just yet. Still have yet to take that tier 2 top as well. Remember, this is an IG that had almost a 10K gold lead around the 20-25 minute marker.
And now it's all the way up to 18. Soon it'll be even more, as I expect they'll control these bounties. Spawning up in 3 seconds. Who's that TPing top? Wyvern? He's going to try and steal one.
Does manage to grab it, blinks out to safety.
Yeah, but it feels like they're in a much better position, even though their net worth lead was half as much. Now it just still feels like a totally even game just because of the amount of raw damage this Mag can output. Now that he's got the Abyssal on Chris Luck, this is huge, because your issue with Mag is that if you spend your big cooldowns, notably the Skewer or RP, you don't feel confident entering fights. You have no real way to stick onto somebody, whereas now, if he finds Slark after getting packed, he can just immediately, boom, Abyssal with the blink effect, and then perhaps a double crit. You just take him down. There's still no real plus armor items up on this IG lineup. They've got a Greaves, sure, but no AC, no Vlads, not even a casual Buckler. They do have the Greaves, but it's really been Wisp plus Leshrac, Fly left to his own devices in most of these fights. It's still yet to build any true DPS item. Abyssal up on the PL as well. So, yeah, you've got a bunch of hexes on the side of IG, but these supports, man, if they get Abyssal by either one of these two cores, they're in so much trouble.
1,200 damage crits from Chris Luck. We saw earlier Schofield trying out the Havoc Hammer, putting a little test ride on it. Let me tell you, it's not going to be as effective as you would hope with the coil. If you think you're going to be able to push people out of that coil, the effect is not that strong. But maybe Schofield can somehow still make it work. Fly just testing the supports right now. He's going to use his Shadow Dance and should probably retreat considering how little he did there. Cena was hoping to be able to get the Winner's Curse, but he actually pounced onto Schofield, quickly take him out. Winner's Curse onto Leshrac, but it's too late to be able to save his fellow support. Side device turn around onto Chris Luck as Emo approaches his high ground with his BKB. They're going to go for Chris Luck, who's going to be forced to use his BKB here and try and skewer out. But the physical damage is keeping his Blink Dagger from coming back up. And now the magic immunity's gone. He's going to turn around, manage to land the RP onto Emo. He's out of mana now. Ollie is strapped up on the high ground. Maybe that's a perfect place to be as IG control this part of the map, and Beastcoast will retreat to their high ground once again.
That could have gone so much worse for Beastcoast there. IG not looking to push forward. As soon as Chris Luck's BKB is down, you've got to be frightened for him because there's just enough disable on IG to kill him without letting him off any auto attacks. Another reload to just get Leshrac mana, and now, oh god,
they have force
someone call Arteezy.
Yo, they have force staffs. They relocated while they're still
okay. Fine.
Spider legs.
Thank God for spider legs.
With Leshako for a Phantom Lancer. I wonder if he keeps it. That much tankiness combined with the heart he already has. I don't know. I don't think you can trade away any of your items, can you? Maybe the treads?
Maybe. That's I mean, we'll see. Nemo is maxed out, just to know you picked up a heart. So again, further health regen amplification now, 50%. This guy's indestructible, 4.3k HP, but it's the mana pool that you've got to be watching because you just don't do damage without it.
Yeah.
It's not about killing Emo. It's just about rendering him neutered, and it might have a fight on our hands.
They know there is wards on this high ground, so they're going to try and deal with that first as they approach IG. IG, also a little bit of smoke. They're going to make their coil initiation. Do manage to get the initiation on the Phantom Lancer, but a skewer on through. Breaking that is going to be able to take out Kaka. But now they're missing some of the AoE unless the Winner's Curse can actually take out Fly. Coming in, it's He activates the cheese, getting survived through all this on Ollie. Gets him enough heals, now he's going to be able to turn around. It's not going for the Magnus. Magnus with the golden praise. Oh, but the adversary is so much damage. Chris Luck is going to come back into a wall of hurt. He lays out whatever damage he can, but it's not going to be good enough. But Hector, as well as Leland, they're dropping bombs right now on this slide, but Fly survives long enough to be able to get off the Shadow Dance and takes down K1 Hector. No! Doppelganger away, but they catch him still. The sight is not good enough. They'll bring him down. He does have a buyback though. Beastcoast will have another opportunity to hold this. IG have won the last like 3 engagements.
And they're going to continue to do them if they fight soon. 53 stacks on the Slark. He's stealing 159 agility and over 25 talent, so he'll be keeping it for a little extra time. You just can't fight around that high ground. Ollie, they go for him, but he just spider legs up to the cliff. No longer is he able to be targeted, and he's just sustaining his cores through any sort of damage pressure. They didn't fight. I don't think they had RP up for that engagement. There was an opportunity for a 3-man on top of the Winner's Curse. It just wasn't off cooldown.
They did lose a tier 4 during all of that because the mid lane pushes. We're going to watch this one again. The bad part for Beastcoast, what really loses them is the fact they drop their combo on a Kaka Lion.
Yeah.
That's not going to feel good.
And they just don't have the follow-up, right? The BKB wasn't used from Crystlock. He needed to hop it sooner because he just doesn't get any damage out. Now he's just dead, even though he'll get it off right at the end. And Ali, he was the one K1 Hector pursued up top, so he's not doing damage in the fight.
Back inside the game, we're going to get a pick off on Stinger. 10 for 90 seconds. Lelis is in trouble as well. Playing the turnaround, the fast one. They might be able to bring it down. Flyfly gets the save, but a big RP. Locking him down. Flyfly with the drag pack is going to lay out some damage onto Crystlock. He has to skewer away. K1 Hector, though. Oh, look at Flyfly. He's not going to let Crystlock get away. Come back here, you. K1 Hector. He's going to be locked down, but Leshrac and JT as well. Just so much magic damage. He's going to try and doppelganger, but Flyfly, he's there to sandwich in the Phantom Lancer. 3 dead with no buyback. That means Lelis is going to be caught with no help inside his face. He can buy back, sure, but they are out of lives. Really won't reduce.
IG, they're continuing to fight. They've got so many stacks up, 77 now on the Slug. It's not just for the damage pressure. He has 82% physical resist now. Doesn't matter if he tanks that full RP. He's not going to die because all that agility giving damage and armor. Look here. Taking some panic breaths if you're an IG fan, but they managed to pull it out in the end. Credit to Beastcoast for keeping it going, but
Beastcoast, we always talk about this team is dangerous. You know, you get a lead like this, other teams might just flop over. They wouldn't find the opportunities. They wouldn't be able to get the farm, but Beastcoast always does. IG, though, really good control, and I feel like a lot of times they were out team fighting Beastcoast.
Yeah, they did have the luxury of a pretty large advantage. They won every lane. They were up like 13-4 in kills. So if I'm Beastcoast, you know, you should be confident. You were playing your game, but you're going up the hill. Like you're starting off on such a poor footing. Just take a deep breath. You know that you can match this team as your equals, and just, you know, don't get counterpicked in all your lanes.
And don't lose, all 3 of your lanes like that. That might help a little bit. We'll see what Beastcoast does heading into the draft of Game 2, but first, the break.